I have a communications degree, but my background is mostly graphic design. So if you have a creative side and like to do desktop publishing, Illustrator, Photoshop, and I did learn how to do, the video and create openings for shows and stuff like that, then maybe marketing on that side would be more your forte. Because in my job, I do a lot of print advertising, banners, newsletters, all the publication and materials that need to get out to the public. And I have to do some public speaking. So if you guys ever have electives where, I would encourage you to belong to groups, do some public speaking, just so you can really fine tune your social skills with the public, because you will be dealing with a lot of different people in television and communications in general. So you need to have good people skills.
And my degree is also in communications. I studied engineering for a while, then I changed it over to communications and finished up at Castleton. And don't discount Castleton if you think that you want to pursue this in college. A lot of people tend to do that because it's close by and like, well, it's just in my backyard, I don't want to go there, but it's actually one of the best communications universities in New England.
Do you accept interns, high school interns or college interns still?
Yeah, we actually have an intern with us now, and we do go through the college for that. So the college handles, I say university handles all of the administration part of it. So someone at the university will contact me and say they have a prospect, and I'll take them in, and they basically get credit for their time spent at Pegtv. And they do work. It's not just one of these deals where they come in and make coffee and then just sit and look at their phone all day. Alex that we have currently, she does work for us, and she's very good. And that's an exceptional way to build a contact and put something on your resume with real life field experience. Because I know I interned at WJGR when I was in college, and when I told one of my supervisors that I was applying for Pegtv, she got on the phone right away and contacted the supervisor at that time, which was very helpful. To have people that can vouch for your work ethic. And even if you don't get a job in your field, even if you're working at a fast food joint or a department store or anything, act like you need that as a reference, because you will. Any kind of performance that you put in anywhere is going to reflect on any job you have.
Gavin, you'd like to ask your question?
What is the weirdest thing all three of you have experienced in the field?
Who wants to go first?
I don't know if I have, to be honest with you.
I would say at the Halloween parade one year, I had a person dressed as a crow throw a box of milk duds at my head.
Wow.
It is pretty weird.
That's pretty weird.
Curry, how about you ask your question? We're going to value their time, so they only have a couple more minutes. So I want everybody to go around and ask one of their questions if you haven't asked one already. So pick the best one of your list. Curry, go ahead.
Okay. What is the most crucial part of your job that you like to do?
Please.
Crucial part?
Yeah.
Dealing with the public, because our main mission is to get more people in to do more shows, and so you have to be pretty persuasive. Doing the print stuff, is pretty easy, but when you have to go out and mingle and go to meetings and speak in public and really try to convince people to come do shows, that's the most crucial part of my job.
Jerry, did you ask your question yet?
No.
Would you like to think of one on the fly, since you don't have
I
any?
have one that was swirling around my
Okay, Darren, how about you?
I have not yet.
Haven't decided yet?
Dan's got one. Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, Dan. What are the different things you do on Pegtv?
I schedule shows, I edit the select board meetings, I work on the bulletin board. It kind of a vast day-to-day basis. I do studio shoots, so I definitely kind of wear a bunch of different hats under one umbrella, if you will. I mean, it kind of varies from day to day, but definitely, working in a bunch of different settings, like behind the camera, on the control room, with the computer. And I guess one thing that I could suggest is, you know, maybe there is a job that necessarily you don't want to do, like, oh, I don't like doing lighting, or I don't like doing audio, but just try it out. Try it out, see what, you know, you like to do, and you always have that skill that you learn.
Henry, how about you?
So what kind of shows does Pegtv mainly produce?
Basically, we cater to the nonprofit sector. We have agencies like the United Way and Rutland Area Visiting Nurse and Hospice come in and do programs. So it's just an opportunity for them to get the word out without having to spend any money, because they're nonprofit, and there's a lot of nonprofits in the Rutland area. We also do sports, and you've probably seen the Halloween parade. We cover that live. This year we're going to do a lot of election coverage live. So anything like that, that's basically a good for the community. We tend to look at things as, you know, how is this going to help the community? Is this a benefit to the community? But like for the people that volunteer, you can just cover anything you want. That doesn't matter if we're interested in it or not. If you have an interest in it, you think it's something that the public wants to see, and any way to get your message out that meets our guidelines, and basically they follow the FCC guidelines, and one of our biggest ones is we're not allowed to promote anything on a commercial endeavor. So if you invent a better mousetrap and you want to sell it, you're not allowed to go on Pegtv and do like commercials for it. You can come on and explain how you did it, you just can't try to sell it. So there's where the kind of the line is there.
We also have a cooking studio, so we have a lot of cooking shows too. So if people have a passion for cooking or want to share a recipe, they come do that. We have a gentleman who's a hunting and fishing enthusiast who comes in and does a show once a month just to give tips to the public about duck hunting or partridge hunting or whatever. Whatever you have a lot of knowledge about that you think somebody might be interested in, it could be Pokemon Go. I don't know. You could come in and do 15 minutes on Pokemon Go or a half hour and just share your knowledge with people. That's what public access is all about. So lots of different programming. You can come in and rant about how you hate Pokemon Go for half an hour. We have to put it on.
Mm-hmm. I have a couple questions. The first one would be the newspaper. I don't know if people in this room know, but the Rutland Herald is for sale, and they're going to maintain their local news coverage, but a local company is not going to own it. So is Pegtv, is there more demand for Pegtv now because of situations going on with the press in Rutland? Do you believe that that is the case?
We have never really actually considered ourselves a news station. We don't actually dispatch people to go out and cover a story. We don't have a scanner that we listen to and say, oh, there's a fire on such and such a street or a robbery. With that said, if someone wanted to volunteer to do that and produce like a news type of story or show, certainly welcome to do that. The one thing that's different about news is when you report something or say something, sometimes it's at another person's detriment, and you have to be very careful about how you report it. And you can't get in trouble if it's true, but when you do a news thing, it's not a bad idea to have a lawyer or a couple lawyers looking out for you, because I did speak to a gentleman who was a former general manager at the Rutland Herald, and he said that during his time as general manager, the Rutland Herald got a summons at least once a month. That's the thing with news. If you uncover something that somebody's doing that they're not supposed to be doing, they're not going to be happy to see the Pegtv truck come. And we're community friendly, and we kind of want to stay that way and facilitate any needs that are out there. Northshire Access, which is kind of like our comrades in Manchester, they're trying it. They actually have somebody on staff that's their title is to go out and collect news stories and put them on the air. We do have our access program, which basically deals with what's called soft news. They just go out and cover like good and happy things that are happening in the community. And in Rutland, not everything is good and happy, but Pegtv so far has chosen not to really delve into that.
This year, the school is pushing instructors to teach students self-direction, communication, problem solving, all of these life skills that they need. Would you say that is important to your job, and would you say that that is important if they want to get into the field of video production?
I would.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. You want to elaborate or anything?
I think communication is huge. I mean, if you're going to put out a good product, you need to know what everybody else is doing and collaborate on that. If I need to market a show, I need to go to my channel coordinators and say, okay, who are the producers that are coming in every month? You know, is there something special you really want me to push out there because they're doing a really good job? So we have to stay in communication like that, so I know what best to market to the public, what's going on. So that's definitely huge. Being self-motivated and working on your own too. You can't be going to your supervisor and your boss every 3 seconds and what about this and this? Is, you know, you have to have a direction. You have to be able to work on your own. It's okay to look for guidance, but you have to definitely be self-motivated.
I definitely say problem solving and working on the fly is very important also, and I'm sure if you guys haven't encountered it, I'm sure you will encounter it where you're out on a shoot and you're not in the studio and something goes wrong and you have to fix it and you have a deadline that it has to be done by. So definitely time management is also a big thing as well.
Another thing to remember too, is when you put your resumes and your applications out there, your resume is going to look very similar to your peers. You know, everybody's got the same experiences. The one thing that can separate you from everyone else is the one-on-one interview with the person that potentially could hire you. In my experience, that's where I get sold. You know, because the resume is your first contact where they're like, oh, this is put together real well, this person has a lot of experience, let's bring them in and talk to them. That's where I get sold. The eye contact, the level of energy, the enthusiasm, the amount of things they know about Pegtv already, that's crucial. Don't ever go into a job interview not knowing anything about the company. You should know exactly what the company does, you should know who the supervisor is, and when the person that's interviewing is going to ask you what you want to do, what you can do for the company, definitely have an answer. Don't just say, I'll do anything, because they can hire anybody to do anything. They want to know what your skills are and what you plan, how you're going to make that company better.